Well, time now to look ahead to Saturday's early kick-off at Goodison Park. A 12:30 start for Everton against West Ham. A big game at both ends of the table. The Hammers certainly look like a team that could be pushing for a European qualification this season. As for Everton, it may well be a relegation battle, third from bottom going into this match. Tom, though, believes that the home side will come out on top on Saturday. Jack is a firm believer that the Hammers will get a favourable result. What makes you think that Everton can turn around recent form, Tom?
Well, as you say, their form has been poor. No one expected them to be in the position they are in at this moment in time. But that is what it is, form. Everton will improve. They've had the international break, a couple of weeks to recharge the batteries, really assess what has been going wrong. And I expect them to be coming back fighting and impressing, really, over the next few weeks, starting in this game. Last couple of years, it's been a bit of mixed results against West Ham. But prior to that, between 2006 and 2015, they didn't lose a game, home or away, against the Hammers. That's a run of 15 matches, so they do traditionally have a bit of a hoodoo over them. They've got players who need to come back into form. You look at the forwards like Gylfi Sigurdsson, these kind of attacking players. It hasn't quite happened for them so far this season, but it just takes a moment for that quality to kick into gear, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it happens in this game.
The Hammers go into this probably as favourites, Jack, bearing in mind the recent form guide. It sometimes worries me, though, and that's the case for West Ham, because that's maybe when they start to crumble.
Well, I think that was the case when they lost 2-1 to Crystal Palace ahead of the international break, but I do think they are suited to playing on the road. They've won at Goodison Park twice in the last 3 visits. I do think they are a better team on the road. They've won both teams to score as well. It's quite interesting if you're a punter, because neither side can really defend, can they? Let's be honest. That's available at 9-2 if you're looking for the odds. But I think West Ham against an Everton team lacking confidence and lacking confidence in the manager, which is a big thing at the moment. I think it's going to be a Hammers result at lunchtime.
Well, I have to say, a little bit worried about West Ham when they're favourites, as I say, going into this match. But I'm going to go with Jack here, because I do feel that Everton have all sorts of problems at the moment, and especially at home, where the crowd can maybe get on their back if they don't score early doors. I think that will be a concern for Marco Silva as well. This is a big run of fixtures for him. He desperately needs a result, but I don't think it's going to go his way at the weekend. We're going to have a look at player bets now and who are the players to watch out for in terms of maybe goals or bookings at Goodison Park. Tom, what have you been looking at?
Yeah, well, I've had a look at Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's not prolific at Premier League level, but he's got 3 goals in his last 3 games, including a brace in the Carabao Cup. And he is a player that Marco Silva has relied on to lead the line more often than not this season. He's keeping Moise Keane out of the side, and he's 7-4 to score any time. So as the man who's probably going to start and play the majority of the game as Everton's lone striker, i.e. their main attacking threat, I think that does represent decent value. Likewise, if you're looking for a slightly more outside bet in terms of who could score, Lucas Digne at 13-2 anytime scorer does pop up with the odd spectacular goal, tends to take a lot of the direct free kicks, if you like, as well, between him and Gylfi Sigurdsson. So I think there's a bit of value there. Everton can be a threat from set pieces in general, both striking towards goal and getting the ball into the box, which again could benefit a player of the aerial ability of Calvert-Lewin. So I think they're 2 genuinely good goal-scoring options.
OK, what about West Ham, Jack? Which player betting options have caught your eye?
Well, Tom mentioned Luca Digne's attacking prowess, and he is good going forward, but I don't think he's good going backwards. And Andrei Yarmolenko exposed him in this fixture last season, scoring twice at Goodison Park, and I'm going to go with him as an anytime goal scorer. 14-5, I think, is a very good price. He's already scored 4 goals this season for club and country, including against Portugal for the Ukraine in the recent international games. I also always like a booking bet as well. I think Mark Noble, I love him. He's a fantastic servant for West Ham. Captain Leeds by example, but in what is going to be an open and exciting game, he will cause a lot of fouls, I think, so he will go into the book.
It's not unusual to see him yellow carded, let's face it, is it? I have to say, I'm going to slightly edge towards Tom here and go for the Dominic Calvert-Lewin bet, because I do think at home at Goodison Park, he often looks a real threat, particularly, as you say, from an aerial perspective. That's somewhere that the Hammers may struggle defensively as well. So I'm going to go with Tom with this one, and I feel that the Calvert-Lewin bet could be a good way to go. Let's have a look at then some more outside suggestions in terms of this game on Saturday. What's your pick here, Tom?
Well, I've looked at the bookings market for my outside bets. I do agree with Jack. I think potentially both sides defensively aren't that strong, so there could be plenty of goals around. It could be a really entertaining game. Michael Keane's been out of form for Everton of late and for England during the international break. He was dropped for their second match, so you wouldn't be surprised if he's a little bit clumsy, a little bit over-eager in the tackle. He's available at 13-2 to be booked in the match, and an outside bet because I do think Everton will go on and win this game. It may be tight in terms of the final scoreline, just one goal in it coming into the final few minutes. So I always like to look at the goalkeepers on the leading side, you know, a bit of time wasting, running down the clock. Jordan Pickford's 18-1 to be booked in the match. We know he's quite a lively character as well on the field, so I think that represents decent value as well.
Okay, Jack, what have you selected for us?
Well, I'm going to be quite ambitious, I think. Going for the value bet, 28-1 on a repeat 3-1 win for West Ham at Goodison Park, like last season. And we mentioned I think we agree that it's going to be an open game. Over 3.5 goals is 9-5, which is a really, really good price when you look at these two sides. But I really fancy West Ham to win on Saturday at lunchtime, and 3-1 is a fantastic price.
It is, and I have to say, I'm going to go with Jack on that. I do think there will be goals in this game, and certainly going on last season's display from West Ham, they thoroughly deserve to win that Goodison Park encounter, and I think it could well be more of the same this time around. That's our thoughts anyway. Let us know what you think on our social media channels, on Facebook and on Twitter, and of course make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel.